Hello everyone. So, in the last class, we had started the first module, and some of the slides of first module was already completed. So, as you can see over here, we had basically seen the various parameters, hydrological cycle, and what do you mean by biosphere, etc. Right? So, today we'll continue the class. So, just for context, there are two types of water cycle, that is global water cycle, and one more is biological water cycle, right? So biological water cycle means the one which actually enters our body, and once we discharge it, it will again reach to the global water cycle. So in human body, so this is the next slide. So in human body, water of utmost physiological, water has the most importance in our body to do specific functions, right? So it acts as solvent for the secretory and excretory products. It also acts as regulator of body temperature. So water is nothing but it is a universal solvent. So and also it is the main cause of metabolism. So we should always drink more water. So why we are saying this? Because we have to drink more water, but the amount of water which is present is kind of very less for the human beings whoever are there. So but still the importance of water over the world for the humans will never decrease, right? So water is the most important. Water is more important than food. Deprivation of water brings about death much more quickly than that of food. So without food you can survive for 4 weeks or so, but without water you can't survive for that long. Over 80% of Earth's surface is covered by water in form of relatively pure liquid in lakes, ponds, rivers, as a dilute salt solution in ocean, or as nearly pure solid in snowfields, glaciers, and other polar ice caps that you already know. So we'll just glide through the slides. So next to air, water is the most important substance for the existence of life on earth. Water resources have been the most exploited natural systems since man's existence on earth. So as humans we exploit it so much, right? There is so much of wastage of water at the time of, for example, at the time of extraction of the ores or any processing industries, and people for joke they always say, right, save water, drink beer. But the main thing is that we can't actually, because to make a bottle of a beer we need nearly 180 liters of water. That processing of it requires so much. Not only that, that is the main thing or trending thing what was going on, but even if we consider Coca-Cola or any other soft drink or any other packed drinks, processing of that is required, and at the time of processing, like washing up of utensils, clearing up, and also you know the temperature regulation and all those things systems. So just for creating one bottle or 1 liter of any produced soft drink, we need nearly 130 liters of water. So it's an approximate value, it will differ from industry to industry. So it is most exploited thing, so it's very bad, right? Next, pollution of water bodies is increasing steadily due to the rapid population growth. So as population grows, the amount of water required is more, and also industries will come into existence, and industries are the main pillars to exploit the water. So as you can see, population growth, urbanization, increase in living standards, and widespread of human activities. So we are the humans, we are the intellectuals, but still we are the one polluting everything. Groundwater, river, seas, lakes, ponds, and streams are finding it more and more difficult to escape from pollution. So even groundwater are the one which is the most purest form of water, but still because of the human activities, even the groundwater has been infiltrated with chemicals. That is the main thing, is because of the extensive agricultural practices made by us and use of fertilizers in them. And also if you can consider one more thing is uh, the oceans, whichever is present on earth, the deepest point of ocean was found out by scientists. So even at the bottommost part of that is the lowermost part of the earth or deepest part of ocean, till now, which is found till now, what is discovered, even there was a presence of plastics or plastic materials, right? So it's pollution has gone overboard. There is no stopping now. We have done so much of damage to the earth that even if we stop right now doing everything, even that would take a lot of time to come back into the original position. So yeah, next, that is the many rivers of the world receive heavy flux of sewage and industrial effluent, domestic and agricultural waste, which consists of substances varying from simple material to highly toxic hazardous chemicals. For example, tanneries. Tanneries is nothing but the one which makes uh, skin or artificial skins that you use in the belts or purse or something like that, fashion accessories and all. So all those, at the time of the processing of the tanneries, the wastewater whichever is coming out of it has chromium. So it is one of the very heavy metal which, if it mixes with the water and the water which we drink, again it will be very hazardous to our health. And also one more thing is that the pollution water is done, that is the plastics or microplastics or whatever is there, it is being ingested or indigested by the fishes which are there in the, that is the aquatic lives. So people who are eating the fish are indirectly eating plastic again. So thank god for the people who are vegetarians. So going to the next slide, water related disease. So, about 1.1 billion people in the world still lack access to safe water for drinking, and 2.4 billion people have no basic sanitization. So, this might be kind of an old data, but now it has been increased much more. So, just see that 1.1 billion people in the world still lack access to safe water. You should thank yourself that you have safe water whenever you open the tap. And also 2.4 billion people don't have basic sanitation needs. That is very bad, right? So because of these kinds of um, lack of sanitation and all, people actually get sick and they are getting water related diseases like typhoid, etc. The large majorities of people are seriously affected by or die from preventable water and sanitation related diseases. So many people are dying. Okay, not only due to COVID, there were people dying. There are more people had died because of other things, because there was no basic sanitization, right? Sanitary systems, that is the bathrooms and toilets which they don't have. So even in India it is one of the very big issue, and you could see in the channels like DD News and DD National and all, Amitabh Bachchan comes and he will say, right, that advertisement you might know. So those are some of the things that create awareness among the people in villages that they have to construct a toilet. It is a very important issue. So waterborne diseases is caused by consumption of water contaminated by human or animal excreta containing diseases causing organisms such as bacteria, viruses and protozoa. The main waterborne diseases are cholera, dysentery, amoebiasis, diarrhea, viral hepatitis, typhoid, etc. So if you ask a person who had suffered from typhoid once, he will say that in life he should never get it. So all these diseases are very, very, high level. Like they can be avoided if there is proper sanitization and if there is a proper, care taken at the time of sanitization. So water washed diseases, what do you mean by that? We'll just go through it. It is caused by poor personal hygiene and skin or eye contacts with the contaminated water and or insufficient quantities of water for personal hygiene and washing. So example, scabies, trachoma, etc. So these are called as water washed diseases. Next is water based diseases. So what are they? So they are caused by parasites found in intermediate organisms living in contaminated water, right? So parasites which are living in contaminated water mainly brings up the water based diseases or waterborne diseases. These diseases are passed on to humans when they drink or wash with it. Okay, so you can see the example over there. So water related, we'll go to the next point. Water related insect vector diseases. Vector is the one which is the main animal which carries the bacteria into the humans or any animal, right? It is the transportation system we can assume, right? So caused by insects, especially flies and mosquitoes that breed in or feed near contaminated water sources. So for example, you might have seen common house flies, right? They will be kind of rubbing their hands together and all. So what is that? Whenever you see that, you better kill that housefly because it's washing out all the bacteria or the microorganisms whichever are present in its body, right? So it's getting rid of that. So when it gets rid of that, when you are near it, you might get affected by that, right? So whenever you see some housefly is sitting on the food of your home and it starts rubbing its hands and legs, it's a very bad thing. Okay, it's a sign, it's a very bad thing. So please avoid that. And also, you might have seen some of the houseflies like which have green eyes, right? It will be very big and it will have some green eyes kind of. It will be very colorful, but God knows where it has sat and what it had laid or what kind of diseases it carries. So we don't know. So they are one of the nastiest animals in the world, houseflies and mosquitoes. So because of those vectors, we might also get water related diseases such as malaria, dengue, sleeping sickness, etc. Right. So uh, basically humans are the one who always talk about problems itself. So there are nobody talking about the solution. So let's talk about solutions. So waterborne diseases provides wholesome water and good sanitation, right? So in order to prevent the waterborne diseases, we need to provide wholesome water and good sanitation. That is the meaning of the slide behind this. Construction of sanitary and also with care and treating wastewater to allow the biodegradation of human waste with help of cure diseases caused by pollution. So a very proper sanitary system should be there. So there is something called as sullage, there is something called as sewage. So sullage is nothing but the wastewater which is coming from our homes. Okay, so even in sewage there are two types, that is sewage water and storm water. Storm water is nothing but the rainwater. So all these things have to be again taken care of for the treatment, right? Next, water washed diseases. So they can be controlled effectively with better hygiene, for which adequate fresh water is necessary. So we need to wash our hands, or we need to consume the water whichever is clean, right? So we should avoid drinking of water or washing of utensils or fruits or water eatables whenever there is only fresh water available, or whenever there is a pure water available, not any other water like which is polluted. So yeah, you people are engineering students and you might know these things, but there are many people in the villages, they don't know such things, and they just go on with the water whichever they have, and they are most prone to water washed diseases. So water based diseases. So individuals can prevent infection from water based diseases by washing vegetables in clean water and thoroughly cooking the food, practicing filtration with nylon gauge cloths to remove genie worms, good hygiene, suitable disposal of human waste has to be done, right? So water related insect vector diseases. So what can we do for that? That is, the solution to water related vector diseases would appear to be clear: to eliminate the insect that transmit the disease. So that's why I told you, whatever the house flies whichever you have seen, you please prevent that, be clean and be hygiene. So how can we do that? Putting pesticides, that is one of the solution, but it also has many negative effects. So uh, best way possible as of now is that electric bat. So even in that electric bat we can't catch the house flies, they're very fast. So next topic, coming to the next topic, that is the fluoride problem. So in the last class I might have discussed about the dental fluorosis and skeletal fluorosis. If you have more amount of fluoride present in your body, that is a bad thing. If you have less amount of fluoride present in your body, even that is a problem. And I had also asked you about the amount of fluoride present in your toothpaste. Have you seen that? I hope you have seen that. It will be written in that in every toothpaste, right? In Patanjali I don't think it has. Fine, whichever paste you have, you please see that and you see what is the fluoride content present. It will be written ppm. Okay, it should be actually 1000 ppm. Okay, I'll just say the answer. Right, so okay, let's come to the fluoride problem. Ingestion of excess fluoride, most commonly in drinking water, can cause fluorosis, which affects the teeth and bones. So dental fluorosis means decaying of teeth. You might seen in the people from the villages and all, they might have yellowish tint in their or blackish tint in their teeth. That is because of the fluoride, right? And also skeletal fluorosis, that is nothing but the decaying of the bones, not a literal decaying, it is a type of decaying. So dental fluorosis. So moderate amount lead to dental effects, but long-term ingestion of large amount can lead potentially severe skeletal problems. So fluoride in diet or drinking water above 1.5 ppm causes fluorosis. So in toothpaste it has 1000 ppm. Okay, so I guess it is above 1500 ppm. Okay, 1.5 mg per liter, right? So water above 1.5 mg per liter, it's not ppm, I'm sorry. So 1000 ppm, that means 1 mg per liter. So the fluoride concentration in bones and teeth. Excess fluoride in body may lead to dental decolorization and deformation of bones. In case of pregnancy, there is a possibility of abortion or abnormal childbirth. So fluoride is very important mineral which we want, but if you take it more, that is a problem. If you take it less, even that will be a problem. So description of selected waterborne diseases. So this is for your information. However, environmental studies is a MCQ kind of question. So this slide you can pause it over here and you can go through the whole slide. So diarrhea, it is the most common type of water related illness and is caused by drinking water contaminated with disease causing from bacteria, viruses or tiny parasites like worms, amoebas from human excreta. Very nasty disease, if you may say so. Dysentery, it is a more serious form of diarrhea and occurs when contaminated water is used for eating or drinking. Next, cholera. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae. So typical symptoms are vomiting, rapid dehydration, muscular cramps and unconsciousness. In acute cause, it may lead to renal failure. So that is very serious. Cholera may commonly occur in crowded slums and in the aftermaths of major diseases where water and sanitation facilities are non-existent or damaged or destroyed. Next, typhoid typhoid fever. It is caused by Salmonella typhi. It is a bacteria. So typhoid is a gut infective caused by food or water contaminate with bacteria found in human excreta and often occurs in epidemics. This disease results in high fever accompanied with diarrhea or vomiting. So typhoid is one of the very serious issue, right? So it directly attacks your intestines. So once a person is hit with the typhoid, the doctor usually says to not eat any non-veg food at the time of when he is curing. He becomes very thin, but still he should avoid spicy foods because your intestine will be affected and it has to heal, right? So we should always give some time for our body to heal. Next, trachoma. So that is nothing but infection, malaria, okay, sleeping sickness, amoebiasis. So all these things you can just go through it. This table is given just for your information, right? So we need to conserve water. So next topic, that is conserve water. So exercise restraint when watering your lawn. So we need to always conserve water. How can we do that? First point. So watering your lawn, you please be careful while watering your lawn or your garden in general. So wash your car with a bucket of soapy water instead of a garden hose, that is the pipes. A hose can waste as much as 150 gallons each time it is used to wash a car. So also at the time of bathing, you please bath using a bucket, because when you take a shower you don't know how much water you are wasting. Even that is one of the uh, you know main ways to conserve water. Install energy efficient shower heads and faucets. use latest technologies or techniques in irrigation, so drip irrigation, etc., etc. there. So even that comes in the water resource management. Purify and reuse, increase groundwater and rainwater harvesting. So next main topic, that is conserve our natural resources. So minerals resources, that is minerals are formed through geochemical process over a long span of period. India is rich in mineral reserves. So that's why actually uh, people from various countries would come and loot India at the time of independence. So it is very mineral rich. India was a very rich country before. I don't know what happened now. India constitutes one quarter of world's mineral resources. Sorry, so one quarter, that is one fourth, that is huge. India has world's largest deposits of coal. India has the fifth largest deposit of bauxite in the world. 95% of India's lead zinc resources are located in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Limestone is found in all the states of India. So limestone, that is the key element for making of cement. Okay, limestone. Our country is the second largest supplier of manganese. So Russia is in first position. 75% of world's mica is produced in our nation. So there is a 75% of mica is produced in India, but there is a dark part in that too. I might share a related video in the Google Classroom also. So watch for it. What is the dark side of mining of mica? So the Pana Diamond Belt, Madhya Pradesh. So it is called as the Pana Diamond Belt. It is known for diamond production. Next, about two-thirds of iron deposits lies in the belt along Orissa and Bihar border. So iron deposits, Orissa, Bihar. Magnetite, so Tamil Nadu, Bihar and Himachal. Gypsum, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan. Nickel, again Orissa. Copper is present in Andhra, Bihar, Rajasthan and Karnataka. Gold, Andhra and Karnataka. Obviously KGF. So petroleum, Assam and Gujarat. So mining extraction is likely to cause the following effects. So what are the basic or definite effects of mining? First one is disturbing landscape, forest and wildlife. So you might have seen the Ballari mining. So almost the whole area wherever the mining is there is too much of dust, right? So disturbing landscape, forest, wildlife, release of toxic pollutants, water and air pollution, land degradation. So these are suitably tackled while using mineral resources. So mining is one of the key factors in creating pollution. Almost in all the areas, as you can see, there is pollution, right? So that's why that was the one of the main reason why the Kudremukh Iron Ore company was also shut, because of the mining activities which was happening, and even the UNESCO had declared it as reserved forest. But as company says, it was following all the ecological terms and there was afforestation done. So I can't give any comment on that. So we will go to next, mineral cycles, that is biogeocycles. So what are the various cycles? As you know, hydrological cycle, what we had already seen. Carbon cycle, so how carbon cycle is produced due to photosynthesis, sugars and starch, decomposition, respiration, fossil fuels, industry. So it is a generalized diagram of carbon cycle, right? This is the much more detailed part. So carbon dioxide, it is in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide or carbon is released into atmosphere when fossil fuel is burnt. Carbon is released at the time of respiration, that is breathing. Also, the carbon dioxide is again used by the plants, and also at the time of decaying, carbon dioxide is produced. So it's a cycle should be always going on to have an ecological balance, right? So this is the very detailed slide of carbon cycle, right? So all living things are made of carbon. Earth is a dynamic place. Carbon does not stay still, it is on the move. In atmosphere, carbon is attached to oxygen and forms carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is absorbed by green plants, that is the producers, to make food by photosynthesis to produce carbohydrates. The carbon becomes a part of the plant. So during respiration and also transpiration, actually, animals in the plants I'm saying, so this slide it is animals. So during respiration, animals also introduce carbon into the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is also given off when plants and animals die. This occurs when decomposes, that is bacteria and fungi, break down dead plants and animals, so that is known as decomposition, and release the carbon compounds stored in them turn into fossil fuels over millions of years, right? So when humans burn fossil fuels, most of the carbon quickly enter the atmosphere and it becomes carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is one of the major cause of greenhouse gases and greenhouse effect, and also climate change. Human activities like heating in homes and cars, burning fossil fuels, that is nothing but the petrol or diesel, give off carbon to the atmosphere. So to a certain extent we can say that electric cars have come as of now, and there is zero pollution. But again, production of batteries, that nobody is talking about, right? So there is production of batteries. So production of batteries happens where? It happens in the industries. How does it happen? By consumption of fuel. So because of fuel, what happens? We will again get carbon dioxide. So somehow, somewhere, carbon dioxide is always coming out. So you can't directly say that electric cars are 100% pollution free. Okay, so we will go to next cycle. So nitrogen, nitrification, denitrification. So first is nitrates, then nitrites, then ammonia. So as you can see in the very generalized nitrogen cycle, how nitrification and denitrification happens in the plant nodules and other areas. So as you can see over here, nitrogen is present as N2 in the atmosphere. So there is nitrogen fixing bacteria in root nodules or legumes of plants, and also has decomposers. So nitrogen, it is turned into nitrates, then nitrites, and finally into ammonium, as you can see over here, right? NO3 minus, NO2 minus, then NH4. Ammonium is very pungent smelling gas. Right, so nitrogen, ammonium, nitrites and nitrates. So how much amount of or volume of nitrogen is present in air? That is 78%. Right, it is the most abundant element present in the atmosphere. Even though it is widely available, it acts as scarce resource. That is, you know, mm, even if it is 78%, we are having scarcity of nitrogen. Nitrogen cannot be utilized by living organisms unless in the form of ammonia, amino acids, or nitrates. Direct nitrogen can't be taken up. Plants do not use nitrogen directly from air. This is because nitrogen itself is unreactive. So that's why air is very, you know, uh, non-reactive kind of thing. Because 78% is again nitrogen, right? But all of a sudden air will not start blowing up. It is very stable. That is because nitrogen. It is very unreactive. But plants can't do anything because of that. So they can't make protein. So nitrogen fixation, that is how do they fix nitrogen? There are two ways. First one is atmospheric nitrogen fixation. Second one is biological nitrogen fixation. So next point, during lightning, nitrogen reacts with oxygen and form nitrous oxide, next nitric oxide and nitrogen peroxide. These compounds dissolve in rainwater to form dilute nitric acid. So nitric acid is one of the very corrosive kind of acid. So if it is more due to the industries, there is a phenomenon called as acid rain. So even that we will come back, or we will discuss it in detail in the for next modules which are coming in. So nitrogen is introduced into soil by precipitation. So this is how nitrogen is getting up into the plants, and that is how plants will get their protein. One thing is due to rain at the time of lightning. Second one is the fixation of nitrogen by root nodules. As you can see here, there is a nitrogen fixing bacteria in the root nodules. So they fix the nitrogenous elements in the roots of plants. So nitrogen gas therefore needs to be converted into nitrate compound in the soil by nitrogen fixing bacteria in soil, root nodules, or lighting. Three types of nitrogen fixing bacteria are: first one, free living in soil, so Astobacter and Clostridium. Next, symbiotic or mutualistic bacteria, that is they actually are having an host and parasitic kind of nature. So symbiotic, example ribosium rhizobium bacteria. Next, photosynthetic or cyanobacteria, that is blue green algae. So whenever there is color green, there is chlorophyll, and they can produce their own food with the help of sunlight. So nitrogen plays a vital role in survival of all living organisms. Nitrogen is also key in existence of ecosystems and food chains. Nitrates don't only come from nitrogen in the air, they can also be obtained by the conversion of ammonia commonly used in fertilizers by nitrifying bacteria in soil. Root nodules can also convert nitrogen In the soil into nitrates, plants build up proteins using nitrates absorbed from soil. When animals like cows eat these plants, they in turn use it in build of animal protein. So nitrogen is the main thing to build protein. So nitrates in the soil can also be broken down by denitrifying bacteria, right? So this process can help to make soil infertile. It is because of lack of nitrates needed to plant use. Once nitrogen get back to air, the cycle continues. So in the nitrogen cycle we will come to some of the definitions, that is nitrogen fixation, conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. So nitrogen first becomes nitrate, next nitrate will become nitrite, yes, then it will become ammonia. So nitrogen fixation, that is conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. Next, nitrification, conversion of poisonous ammonia to nitrate, which is again converted into nitrate, nitrite into nitrate, so that plants can use it. Final one is denitrification, conversion of nitrate and nitrite to gaseous nitrogen, right? So this is the end of the slides and also module 1.